Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Whitewater Township Board of Trustees meeting. If I can please have you stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Fiscal Officer Jim Brett, roll call, please.
Mr. Pope? Here. Mr. Shively?
Here.
Mr. King?
Here. Acceptance of the meeting minutes from April 15, 2024, regular meeting.
I'll make a motion to accept.
I'll second it.
Voice vote, please.
Mr. Pope?
Yay.
Mr. Shively?
Yay.
Mr. King?
Yay. And did everybody get to look over the invoices for the month?
I did, and I will make a motion to accept.
I'll second.
Voice vote, please.
Mr. Pope?
Yay.
Mr. Shively?
Yay.
Mr. King?
Yay. Sergeant May, you want to do your sheriff's report, please?
Good evening, all.
Evening.
Good evening.
All right, we are dealing with April of 2024. These reports taken in Whitewater Township. We had 7 theft reports taken, 1 identity fraud, 1 passing bad checks, 1 telecommunications fraud, 1 deception to obtain a dangerous drug. We had 4 criminal damagings, 1 criminal trespass, 2 possession of drug abuse instruments would be basically needles for injecting, and 1 possession of drug paraphernalia would be like a pipe for smoking. We had, unfortunately, 1 murder, which thankfully I don't ever recall reading, but that was the unfortunate incident down on Kilby. We had 4 domestic violence arrests, 1 assault, 1 resisting arrest, 1 failure to comply, that's basically where they flee from the officer on a traffic stop. We had 1 weapons under disability. That's where somebody is in possession of a weapon that they no longer can possess due to a felony conviction, certain felony convictions. 1 public indecency, 2 telecommunications harassments. We had 17 aided cases and 10 other non-criminal cases. Total reports were 58. We had 40 in March. You think it's a marked increase, but I kind of did the math. The reason for the spike are basically the aided case and the other non-criminal reports were up. So nothing unusual so far as our normal criminal reports. We just had a spike in the aided cases and the non-criminal reports. We had 33 of these were closed, 25 are active. We had 30 auto accidents in the township. We also had 30 in March, and we had 438 calls for service. We had 423 in March, so a slight uptick, not surprising considering the weather's getting nicer. So I'm out of breath. That's a longer list than usual, unfortunately, but with the nice weather comes the shenanigans, of course. So,
Yep.
Do you all have anything for me?
Anybody have anything for Sergeant?
I do not have anything this month for
Be
you.
safe out there.
Sergeant, I
Yes,
do
sir.
one thing. Thank you for the speed sign over in Hooven.
Yes, sir.
That came about with all the dump trucks running up through there. There's some kind of fill going on. And
I had a feeling it might be related to that. You'll enjoy its company at least through the end of the week here.
Yep.
So I spoke with the traffic officer that set it up, and he's going to leave it up there at least until Friday or so. So hopefully it's having the desired effect. People see that, they slow down.
Right.
So I will let him know that it was appreciated. So
thank you very much.
yes, sir.
Appreciate that.
No
Okay.
problem.
Thank you, sir.
All right, that's it. Thanks. Be safe out there.
I appreciate it.
We got any public presentations?
No, no one
List?
requested.
Okay. We'll jump into our township reports. Chief, you want to do your fire report? You can.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
evening.
Good evening.
All right, too many pages clipped together here. Our run total for the month of April 2024, we had 103 EMS details with 119 patients. 71 of those were transported, 64 fire details for a total of 125 details for the month. Brings our yearly total up to 498 runs for the year. I'll skip through the middle part unless you have any questions there. Staffing, there was no station closures for the month of April. Our paramedic coverage was 100% by the township employed paramedics. And as always, we are still utilizing WestJet to supplement our paramedic coverage when needed. Full-time staff, full-time applicant Michael Orlando has been selected to fill the current full-time vacancy. Based on the results of a pre-employment medical exam and a psychiatric evaluation, I'd like to offer him the position to fill the current vacancy. He did just have his psychiatric, I guess I shouldn't say psychiatric, it's psychological evaluation. He did just complete that today. We are waiting to get that pre-employment medical exam completed. Radio purchase proposal was recently sent over to the board outlining the remaining radios and equipment needing to be purchased. And if you had any discussion about that proposal that I sent over.
I do not have any questions about it.
Okay. There was one change that I just received today. There was a slight increase on the mobile radios of an additional $3,000 on the mobile radios. So I would like to request moving forward to purchase those radios and equipment at a cost not exceeding $145,000. Or I'm sorry, $150,000, sorry.
Yeah, with the additional.
Yes, and again, as we stated in meetings past, July 1st of 2025, our radio equipment will no longer be compatible with the Ohio Marks radio system. This is basically an unfunded mandate, and we do still have the grant application in with FEMA, hoping to hear something on that sooner rather than later. The turnaround time on the portable radios is 42 weeks. So we're up against the wall with ordering these now to getting them delivered so we can put them in service prior to
We
July 1st.
pay for them when they come though, right?
Correct. We
Okay.
pay for them when they are delivered. Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Do we want to-
About our vehicles, the Crown Vic was sold on Gov Deals. Okay. Was over, okay, it was a little bit more than $1,000 that it sold for. So that is gone. I do have, not in this report, but I did send over a proposal for an additional staff vehicle. Hopefully everyone had a chance to read that. Just in a nutshell, since appointing our new EMS division chief, on days that he's working when we're fully staffed, the 2 pickup trucks that we currently have are being utilized by the crew, so that does not give him a department vehicle to respond to runs and do what he needs to do during the day. He has been using his personal vehicle to make runs. He's also coming out in the evening, making runs, supporting the paramedics, and all that kind of stuff. So it would be nice to go ahead and add one more staff vehicle to the fleet for our division, for our EMS division chief to be able to support our crews on these runs and give him the tools that he needs to help him do his job with that vehicle. We did whittle down the estimates, and I had Lieutenant Swearingen wasn't happy. I had to buy another red pen once he submitted everything. But all said and done, we were able to work down to just under $75,000 for a replacement vehicle. It'll be a 2024 Ford F-150 Super Crew cab with a cap. And then the radios are already included in the previous proposal. Lighting, $11,450 through Mobilcom. First emergency products is some storage cabinets to hold the equipment in the truck, and front console for radio mounting and tablet or MDC mounting and stuff like that. The cap and I'm sorry, first emergency products was $8,000. The cap was $4,000, and then decaling around $2,200. So all that comes up to just shy of $75,000. I would like to request approval for this purchase. I did have a brief discussion with Jim over the last couple days. One thing that we can do is we can finance the truck itself and then pay for everything else outright. Since it's coming from multiple vendors, that may be the easier thing to do instead of trying. I'm not sure if we can finance the entire project since it's multiple vendors.
I think we could, but Scott and I were talking about, we have payment on a fire truck, payment on a life squad. We've already got a payment on radios that we've already purchased because this $150,000 doesn't even meet all the needs for our radios, and we're going to probably have to finance those. So he and I are just trying to limit the kicking it down the road payment because we just don't want to get too far into that. So.
Is it something that we would have, is it something we can put off for just a little bit and look at?
We're looking at 3 to 4 months to get the truck, as we are right now. And I sound like a broken record every time I come up here and ask for something, but just like everything else in the world today, we're up against a model year change and a price increase on the trucks. They're anticipating the model year change is going to be somewhere between June and September. They can't tell us specifically. And that the model year change could put another delay on it.
I'd like to look, I talked to Jim a little bit, but I would like to just look at what we got, like what we're paying for, and not necessarily saying don't do it, but to look at, like you're saying, like maybe not finance or try to do it straight up, or it's just like so many things have hit us so fast. And I asked Jim, I said, can you put me something together so I can just see like, when's the fire truck getting paid off? What's the payment on the ambulance? We got to talk about ordering the other ambulance because it's like 2 years out, right? So we're going to have to be talking about that. But I'd like to just look, only because I just seen this, and I think you sent it, but I just seen it a day ago or something, and it didn't give me much time to like get with Jim or try to, I'm not trying to say no. I'm just want to see the idea on how to make it, to me, the best way, the best way. I guess I'm not saying no.
Yeah, no, I'm with him. So on the truck, Scott, I know you said there's a deadline. What's that deadline?
We really don't have a definite deadline. They said the model year change will be somewhere from June to September.
So I know we have 2 other trucks. Who uses the other 2 trucks?
So the other 2 trucks are they're BLS 95, BLS 105, which is a basic life support. So when our staffing is at 6, 3 at each station, and we get an EMS call, 2 of the duty crew jump in the ambulance or the medic unit, and then the 3rd person jumps into the pickup truck. So on days where we're at 6 and Chief Corbin is working, he's out of vehicle because we have 3 at Hooven or 3 at Miamitown, and that truck is dedicated to that crew. And right now we have 1 day, which is every 3rd day, that staffing is full. So when he's working those days, he's using his personal vehicle.
Yeah, just for our sake, I'm not sure where Trustee Pope's at, and I don't want to speak for all 3 of us, but I know there's 2 trucks out there that we have. One of the 2 trucks was with our assistant chief. That's why that was purchased.
Correct.
So if we can get a list of what these trucks are being used for at this point, I'm not against getting him a truck, just not right now. We have been hit with a lot of buying things over the
totally
last
get it.
2 or 3 meetings, okay? So let's look at that, and if we can get a list put together, Jim, of what the trucks are being used for. I know we have a total of 3. I think our car went down, right? Is it
Yeah,
the-
that's
the-
when it just got
That's the
sold.
one that
Yep.
just got sold.
Well, that's been out of commission for the
Right.
last year and a
So,
half.
so
Yeah.
kind of get us some of that stuff before we jump into, on this truck.
Yeah, I just want to see,
Yeah.
as far as like they're talking about financing and stuff, like if the, when one's dropping off or, if
Sure.
we can look into that. The radio thing, we got to do, I mean, that's just,
We
we
don't have a choice.
don't
on
have a
radios,
choice on
that's
that.
a
I mean,
must.
that's,
Yeah, are you finished with your report?
Just the last other thing I have is the crews are winding up the spring hydrant checks, so they are still out on the road.
Saw that, yeah.
I think the last portion that we have is the lower part of Harrison Avenue, and that is always one of the most dangerous parts with all the bends and turns and curves, so I think you're going to try to wrap those up this week, so just
Right.
I do have
keep your eyes
something that's going to come up under old business if you don't care, but why he's already up here.
Sure.
On the edges, on the corners. Mm-hmm. So, the ones they were looking about putting on, so I looked at it, I took some pictures, and I kind of had the same concern. So the old ones were poured down, the bottom of it was poured into concrete, and they cut those off, right, before they re-poured the concrete. I think if we just put the corners on there into the block like the one is, if you bump it, it's just gonna rip it off because they said, going into those brick. They think a better thing to do would be to put a plate on the bottom so it would naturally bolt to the brick, but to bolt it at the bottom too into the concrete. Because they said if you bolted it, a lot of them are like that. I got looking, a lot of them do it like that. They put a plate at the bottom. You know what I'm saying, Josh? Like it's at the corner, and then they put a plate. Because then if they hit it, it won't just knock it off. Because they said no matter how good you anchor it into those brick, if you catch it with something coming out of there, it's going to just rip the corner of the building off. You know what I'm saying? It's like protecting the
Yeah.
corner, but that's probably what happened to that one. That one probably got ripped off after it was cut off at the bottom.
No, we actually took that one off because we were wanting to replace
Oh,
them
okay.
because the bottoms were all rusted where they were
Oh, okay.
down into the concrete, so we actually took that one off.
So I didn't
See
know
how
if the
they
guy
were
you had looked at
constructed.
it first was talking about doing it, but I didn't know.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna, I don't know who you talked to or whatever, but one was hit over the weekend, pretty significant, and
Yeah.
it's still standing, so they're
It's still
they're
going.
in there pretty good. They're anchored in there pretty good, so,
All right. I'll get with you and,
that's fine. Well,
I mean, I
look
know
at
that's
it.
not something you're trying
No,
to
that's
have
fine.
to do
No,
right away.
again, it's not high on the priority list. It's just trying to clean things up and prevent a problem down the road.
The other thing is getting them off there. It's going to take a chunk out of the building, getting them off there.
Yeah, it did. It took a little chunk of brick out.
When even if you take the ones that are there now, I don't know how you get them off there without it
Yeah.
chunking it.
That's why I rely on people that are smarter at that than I am.
Yeah, so I'll get with you on it. I just didn't want you to think I
That's
dropped the
fine.
ball on it. I knew you weren't like that worried about it, but we need
That's
to
fine.
do something with it.
Chief, while you're still up here, we'll go ahead and knock these out that he's asking for. I'll go ahead and make a motion for Michael Orlando, right, full-time chief?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll second it. I'll second.
Voice vote, please.
Mr. Pope?
Yay.
Mr. Shively?
Yay.
And Mr. King?
Yay. And then radio purchase,
I'll make a motion not to exceed 150,000 for the radios. Hopefully we'll get a grant to
Offset.
cover a
some.
lot of that,
Yeah.
I hope.
I'll second that also.
voice vote, please.
Mr. Pope?
Yay.
Mr. Shively?
Yay.
Mr. King?
Yay. And then on your last one, we'll just table that purchase.
That's fine.
Not that we're not going to go that route, but I think we should just have some things we probably,
No,
just so we can tell everybody where we're at, so it does not just seem like we're just buying things.
Yeah, it's just.
Every time you come up and ask me, can I buy a truck, and I just say yes.
No, it's not, and it just seems that every time I get all the numbers and
Yeah.
everything put together, it's always, within 3 days of the meeting and stuff like that, too,
Yeah.
so.
That's
I
fine.
totally understand it.
Okay. All right. Anybody got anything for chief?
No, thank you, sir.
All right, thanks, chief.
You're welcome.
All right, appreciate it. All right, Josh, maintenance?
Evening.
Good evening, Josh.
Let's see, once again, our cleanup day was a great success. We had 86 participants, 13 repeats. We did have to we had to turn one person away. It was tires, they were late, and the tires fill up fast. But always, we put it on the flyer, it's first come, first serve, and those seem to be the first thing to come in. We also filled 2 trash containers in Miamitown, but I do not have the number of participants that was in there that came to that part of the town. I'd like to thank everyone who was able to help during this event, and along with Keep Cincinnati Beautiful, Cincy Disposal, and E-Town Recycling for their donation. CDBG, Peggy and I are continuing to work on the community development block grant, As soon as we have more information, we'll pass that on. If I'm not mistaken, the ball's in their court, is that correct, Peggy? The ODOT grant, I've received the stop signs and the hardware for the Ohio Department of Transportation grant that we received. We're just waiting on the post. I do need to put a call into them because those have to be, the way the grants writes is that they have to be installed the year that you receive them. So I'm hoping we get them soon because I'm replacing every stop sign in the township along with some other weathered traffic signs. I'm sorry.
The entire thing is.
And yeah, we can't just take the sign down and use the old post. We have to use the new post, the new hardware sign, everything.
It's all the stop signs on township roads, right?
Just on township
Yeah,
roads.
not on county or
No,
state or anything.
Just anything that's on a township road, along with, a few of our older signs that are dead-end signs, some S-turns, a couple, I think we might have threw some speed limit signs in there. It was quite a bit. But that's all I have for the board, unless you have anything for me.
I don't have anything else.
I don't have anything else.
I do, Josh. Just real quick. Thanks in that meeting, and Chief, just so everybody knows, this is kind of new business, but I want to do it while you're up here. We all did meet with the Gosel Trucking over there in Hooven, and they did put the signs up. So thank you for doing that. Josh got with Hampton County Engineers, and Peggy, we looks like we got all that handled. So I didn't really want to put it under new business, but I wanted to talk while these two were up here. We all did get to meet with them. I thought it went really well. We got signs put up, kind of the reasoning behind Sergeant May getting the traffic sign for us, just to slow everything down. There's a lot of activity happening in Hooven right now, which is a good thing. We're just trying to slow everything down.
Right.
So if anything else comes up, Josh, I know we gave you and Peggy as the point of contact with them. Just let us know.
Okay.
Okay, so we did go ahead and take care of that to the best that we could.
I haven't had anybody complain lately. Does it seem like the trucks are following it? I mean,
Well,
you're down there.
Seems like
It
it.
seems like it. They're definitely slowing down.
So-
Which, speaking of that, I moved that today.
Over to Ohio?
Because
Okay.
I think we only have it for like a week.
Yeah.
More.
Perfect. Okay.
And I
All
did
right.
move that.
I haven't heard anything since that went down, so
Yeah.
I'm hoping that they're
Yeah.
following them signs.
The officer
So-
that put it in and told me if I needed to move it, so
Yeah.
I put it over in Ohio, just to
And
kind
and
of.
if something else comes up, just let us know, but they got those signs up and it looks like everything's okay.
Yep.
So I don't think we need to have a second meeting. We'll just kind of wait and play that out and see how they want to do things, but the meeting went well, just so you guys, I think I kind of talked to you a little off record about that, so, okay?
Yep.
Sound good?
Sounds good.
All right, man, thanks,
All right,
appreciate it.
thanks.
Yep. Next, we got the community center.
Yep.
You want to read that, trustee Scheibel?
Attendance for the community center from 4/1 to 5/1, or 5/3 of 2024. Euchre during the week was 95. Euchre on Friday nights was 173. Chair volleyball was 46. Bluegrass was 187, and country music was 50, for a total of 551. Rentals, May, shelter has 1, center has 1, June has 6 for the shelter and 1 for the center. Just a reminder of all the programs available at the senior center is chair volleyball, euchre, bluegrass, country music, you have any questions, call 513-367-6046 for any information. And as always, we're always looking for new ideas or new programs for the center. If anybody has any thoughts or ideas, please contact Carolyn at 513-367-6046.
Any questions for?
I do not.
I do not. Looking good as usual. Committee reports. Jim, you want to do something on the water sewer?
I do, actually. The due date for bids for 128, for the first phase of that project, is June 6th at 12 noon. So I know we keep saying long time coming, but it's exciting to actually have a due date for something. So, yeah, so next meeting is, now I have to look at my calendar. Next meeting is, well, that's June, no wonder. The 28th, here at 7 o'clock. Those meetings are open to the public. We're glad to have anybody come and hear what's going on with the State Route 128 project. We also have, we're working on sewers for Buena Vista and Miamitown. So a lot going on there and good stuff.
Yeah, that's good news. That's real good news.
Is stuff moving forward with the Buena Vista one?
Yes.
It is?
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, well, actually, it's been moving forward, but moving forward means it goes to MSD for review,
Yep.
and that was 5 months ago. But,
Yeah.
so,
And we've been looking at Buena Vista for at
yeah,
least
so,
10 years.
so,
You know how that goes.
Yeah.
Same as the whole sewer.
Yeah.
Little Sergeant May's been around, he's been hearing us talking about it, so.
Been about 10 years.
Exactly, right. Anything for Fiscal Officer Brett on the water sewer?
No.
All right, economic development, our skyline is open down in Miamitown, and it's pretty crowded. I don't know if you have anything new, but, and then they're moving along with that Penn Station. People didn't know that's Penn Station is going in down there in Hooven where the old Gold Star used to be. That's what that whole rehab's all about.
so, Trustee King and I played phone tag Saturday and Sunday, so he doesn't know this yet, but I talked with the owner at Skyline, and he's having some issues with ODOT about what else can go on that property. So we've been planning a meeting with ODOT, so that's going to have to be moved up so that he can make plans there, and
Yep.
I assured him that we did not want to stifle any economic development in Miamitown, so we
Right.
would work with him. They just got done paving the turn lanes that they made him put in. I can't imagine how much more we need to do there, but, you know,
Looks
we'll-
nice.
yeah,
Real nice.
so,
It's good too.
yeah,
While talking to ODOT, we need to keep in mind the school property development and the area in between the school and when that whole area.
actually, all the way down to, we've been
Yeah.
talking all the way down to the beer house,
Yeah,
Right,
so,
from the beer house all the way up.
to the school,
yeah.
Yeah,
There's
school
a-
or firehouse, either
yeah,
one.
to the firehouse.
Just,
Yeah, at least.
just as something we might want to look at, there's
Maybe we'll go down to the turn. Man, where they're turning
Right, we
from
have,
128
yeah,
to
with the
Harrison
issues,
Avenue. Man,
yeah,
every
the
time I
issues
go
we have
through
there.
whew, that's, you know what I mean, Josh? That's tough.
There's a company that has done some work with Green Township, according to Tony Roselli, the trustee up there. They are, quote, "worth their weight in gold" because they saved them a small fortune on their police department building and the development around that area on Harrison Avenue. And they worked with Delhi on their new aquatic center township facility and the apartments and things in Delhi. The company's name is JS Held, and they are a consultant who works on, I guess, planning and development. They don't actually build anything. What they do is they help you get people to design it so that you can save money. They're also apparently very good at the grant process, and they have some ties with that. And that may be somebody, I don't know what they would cost, but it may be somebody we would want to bring in to help us with that whole development, and also maybe the Miami Town School site, the possibility of extending Front Street. From what everybody's told me, because they don't have they're not out to design something or tell you how to do something and then build it. So they're just trying to help you get the best bang for your buck. If they're affordable, we may want to bring somebody like that in to work on this. So just throwing it out there, I can contact them with Doug, and
Yeah.
we can talk with them about what it might cost to have them consult with us on that.
Well, and, you know, we have that down there at Kroger too, that all that's gonna end up opening up.
Yeah,
I mean, it's just a matter of time. It will happen.
yeah.
No, I kind of like the idea. Maybe we reach out. And just so everybody knows, Jim and I do that economic development side, so it's kind of hard. You know, because I cannot talk to the other two trustees. They have to get that through. Fiscal Officer Brett. But I think maybe while we're up here, we maybe move forward with that, Jim, at least reach out to them.
Yeah, and see what it is.
Yeah, because we got a lot happening.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
Yeah, and I spoke to the county. I talked to you about, I spoke to the county about the land use plan. It kind of ties in with this about devising a land use plan just so the county has it, so that they don't bring state zoning in here and have somebody from the state or Hammond County telling us what we have to do. But I think we should move forward with that. I'm trying to remember the cost. I believe it was around $15,000 to have them work with us to do that. They're tied up real busy right now, and it'd be later in the fall when we can talk more on it, but,
I think the last land use plan that was actually done was when I was a trustee and Guy's father was a trustee with me, Ray. So you know that's been a while since we've done a land use plan. And the kind of the driving force for that is at the Ohio Township Association, we found out that the state of Ohio is trying to outlaw local zoning and have the state take over through the county and impose their zoning codes and requirements on townships, not villages, not cities, but townships. And the reasoning they give is because it's difficult to get permits in townships, and it sometimes takes longer to get projects approved. My experience has been most townships are a little easier to work with than a city or a village, but you know, that's what the folks in Columbus think. So I would agree with Trustee Pope that, you know, maybe next month we should really
Yeah, we need
take a
to
look
keep
at
an
that
eye on
contract.
that, yeah.
And at least keep some local control before, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, the voters out here rejected county zoning a couple times and township zoning once. I can't imagine that the folks here would like somebody in Columbus giving permits and telling us what to do with our area, so.
That's good. I got one more thing to add to that, kind of falls
ahead.
under that. It's really no big deal. There's really nothing to tell. But I don't know, you guys have probably seen the emails. There is 2 people applying for liquor permits.
Yep.
One down on by the river, and then the beer house up there. Just to keep you up to date on that, Peggy took it right away and sent it back for the hearing to where we can, you know, to find out they're all applying for and what it's all gonna be. She turned it right back around and sent it back in, and we have not heard back from them yet. So on when they're gonna set up the hearing, we're trying to push it as fast as we can, but we don't, so there will be a hearing on that,
Right.
on both of those. Did you even hear yet if they'll let us do both at the same time?
I was getting ready to ask, can we do it at the same time?
She has not, she asked that, but she has not.
Okay.
So we're just kind of in a hold, waiting on them. So, just so you guys, I don't know if you had, I know you've seen
Yeah.
the emails, but I had some people contact me, and we've been trying to push it forward and trying to find out more, but we're really kind of in the dark until they get back with her, so.
You had to have Jim sign, remember, you were,
Yeah.
that's weird.
So as soon as we hear that, we'll know more.
It's odd how they do that.
It is weird how they do
Well,
it.
They wouldn't let me sign it, Jim had to sign it.
yeah.
To have the hearing.
Typically, well, even for renewal, and typically, In the past, if there's not been any complaints or anything, it's kind of boilerplate to just bring it in, you guys say, yeah, it's fine to approve it. But with new,
Yeah.
that makes it a little different.
Yeah.
So, I think the last new liquor license the board acted on was, what is now T Daddy's Drive-Through
That
on
is
128.
128, yeah, they brought a liquor permit out of Columbus, I believe.
Yeah,
That's correct.
so, and I've met the gentleman who's running that now, seems like a nice young man who's really trying to do
Right.
well there.
Okay, so that kind of covers both A and B. Willie, you got anything on the We Thrive?
Yeah, we had our, right, the Saturday after our last meeting, we had our litter getter program. We had quite a few volunteers. I don't recall the numbers, I don't have it right in front of me now, the numbers of bags collected, but it was a lot. I know on Suspension Bridge alone, between my house and the Kilby Road interchange, we filled 4 big garbage bags up, just general garbage, and I know under the highway, under 275, they got a lot. Volunteers in Miami-town had an entire pickup truck full of garbage bags. There was a lot of litter picked up. I want to thank all the volunteers for that. And then our spring cleanup here the next weekend after that, Josh and Peggy and I, we had really good turnout. The rain held off, and that went real well. So I want to thank everybody that helped with that too.
Okay, anything for trustee Pope? Solid Waste, trustee Shibley, you have anything on that?
Nothing new, which is no news is good news.
Yes, it is. And West Jad, trustee Pope, anything on that?
No, there's nothing new to report other than our next West Chad meeting is the first Thursday in June at.
July, should be July.
Okay. I had it in my calendar as June, I thought.
It should be July,
Okay.
January and July.
Yes, I have it in as July 11th. Okay. Glad I didn't go in June. Yeah, it is July 11th, but that's our next meeting, and that is open to
I'll
the.
remind you and you remind me.
It is open to the pub. I put them in my calendar, so it reminds me.
You don't want to do that. Trust me.
But that is open to the public if anyone wants to go and see how West Jad operates also. I'm on the board of West Jad, so
Okay,
work in conjunction with our fire department.
all right, thank you. Old business, we already jumped on that, that's the corner guards. So we're gonna go ahead and skip that. Trustee Shibley talked with the chief. Just real quick on old business, chief, and this is gonna come to you, because you and I don't know who was in that email about the Walker Drive. I think we kind of touched on that a little bit. Maybe put that to rest. That's all private area, and I think you guys may have seen what the chief sent out, and I don't know a whole lot we can do, chief, after, I agree, there's a bridge up there. I think we just need to move forward for our fire department's sake. Do we have access? And so, just so you guys know, I was just gonna let chief know, whatever else you want to do and have that looked at. I don't know if there's a whole lot else we can do up there. Did you guys see the emails that, yeah.
So I think what I'd like to do is, I did speak with a gentleman on Friday that lives up there that he sent he called with a concern if we had access due to just some trash around one of the properties, and that's not the issue, is we can get around that. But as I said, there's two spots where a creek runs under the roadway, and it's basically an earthen bridge. I think at this time, I think we should probably reach out to Township Legal Counsel on sending some sort of letter to the residents of Walker Drive that we may not be able to access their house in the event of a fire or an emergency due to the weight of our engines in crossing that earthen bridge. I mean, we're looking at 40,000 pounds on our engines, and we don't want to get one stuck in the middle of that drive. So right now, what we're faced with is we would have to stop prior to that first one and hand stretch lines up the rest of Walker Drive. And we're talking, 1,500, 2,000 feet to the last structure on Walker Drive. So that would be my recommendation, is speak with legal counsel to see if there's some sort of letter or notice that we send to the residents there due to the concerns of the roadway. And plus, the road it's almost impassable. We can't get an ambulance up there without issue on those bridges, but the road is just rutted out, and I wouldn't want to be in the back of an ambulance going up and down that driveway, that road.
I just think we need to be proactive on this.
Yeah.
Yeah, the neighbor said he was trying to do the right thing and tried to, but I believe that there's some neighbor disputes going on up there, and
Have you guys looked at that at all up there?
As a matter of fact, I got a call today.
You-
We had already drove up there, and we were not going across the bridge because it said no trespassing. I mean, Josh and I didn't know it's a private drive, so we weren't gonna drive back there. And then I get a call, and it's probably from the same guy, and I told him, I said, I feel for you. I said, but that's all private, there's not much we can do. He's complaining about that gentleman living in the trash, whatever, John.
You guys
When they call Board of Health.
Yeah.
But that's a long process. There's not much we can do. And I said, here's the issue. I said, our fire department can't get a fire truck up there. So you're probably gonna get notified that we can't get a fire truck up there. I don't even know an ambulance, because he told me I couldn't take one in the car up there because it's running out so bad. We were not driving back in there. I mean, it was freaky.
yeah, I was up there Friday just because of the complaint, or the concern. I won't say it was a complaint, but because of the concern. And he said they have water delivered to one of the residents, and they don't bring the water, just the water truck across there. So I don't know how they get their water up there or whatnot.
So could you guys work this out? Let's get a letter sooner than later, Chief, I'm thinking,
Yeah.
to our attorney, and so we can get moving on this. I appreciate everything you did and looking at that. That's good. We don't want something to happen and all of a sudden we can't get up there.
I think if you look around through the old stuff, you'll find a picture of the old tanker at about a 45-degree angle where it fell through a bridge on what's now Rosalta. A little private bridge going back to a home.
Yeah, and that's what I explained to the gentleman. I said, you basically have to have an engineer come out and look at those earthen bridges to have them certified or rated at weight capacity. And then that way we know if we can definitely go over them or not, but right now, not knowing, we're not.
Yeah.
And we did have a fire there last year, and fortunately, it was at the bottom.
It was before the bridge.
Well, it was just past the first one, but before the second one, but we still stopped
Correct.
short of that bridge and had to stretch hoses about 200 feet for that fire, so, but there's, I think, 4 or 5 more houses continuing on up that hill, so.
Scott, did you not have houses on Harrison Avenue right before you hit Town? The houses that were on the hillside that you could not get the truck up to, that you had to identify them?
Yeah, there was,
Kind of repeat that, 'cause I don't
yeah,
think.
Peggy was asking if we had an issue on Harrison Avenue with a couple driveways that were basically impassable, and I can't remember specifically when that was, but it's right before Miami View Golf Club there. There's two driveways that they're not taken care of, and they're all rutted out and potholed, and we have a lot of access issues there, and I believe we did send them notice that due to the condition of their driveway, emergency services may be delayed getting to them.
I think that's something we look at then, all the way around the township,
Yeah, but I
Peggy.
would definitely like to talk to legal counsel.
Yes. Absolutely.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you very much. I
You're
just
welcome.
wanted that off our old business and.
That's fine.
And that way we're done with it and until we get new information.
Okay.
All right, thanks, Chief. Anybody else have anything under old or new business?
I do not.
I do not.
I do not either. Public comments? We are not going into executive session. Any comments from the board? Everybody have a safe Memorial Day weekend?
I think we've pretty well covered all of our comments. We fit them in through
In between.
old business and then with the department reports. So I have,
I do not.
Jim, do we gotta, if we're gonna, are we gonna try to do one more meeting on for the fire levy thing? Were we gonna try to do that? Should we set up another date for when, is there a certain amount of time when we have to do that?
We will have to pick a millage at our next meeting to ask the auditor's office to certify that, so we'll have to do a resolution of necessity.
Okay.
So if you wanted to have another public
hall.
meeting, town hall type public meeting between now and then,
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to, if some, maybe we'll get some more people, hopefully.
can we do it the hour before the June meeting?
Yeah, if you remind me.
I'm good with that too.
Yeah, I think we should.
That's probably the best. I mean, I think that's, because we're here anyhow, right?
Yeah, I think we should.
Well, and I'd like to have
Yeah,
one
right,
more in
we need
case.
to.
That would be on June 17th, Jim,
yes.
and just do it at 6 o'clock, and then, we'll come up with the millage then, and then we'll just,
And I think we can try to get that out more on social media, and maybe, we'll do it the old-fashioned way, maybe put some flyers up in Miami-town and Kroger's and
yeah.
E-town, and more input the better.
These guys are gonna go get everybody riled up. You're gonna bring like 50 people back with you, right?
I hope so. I hope so. Community involvement's what it's
Yes.
about.
Well, at least now, with everything, with the meetings posted on YouTube and stuff, now at least people can just watch the meeting, and hear about it too.
Yeah. Yeah, but it would
Can't
be-
ask questions from YouTube, though.
yeah.
It's-
It would be nice to have some additional
Feedback.
thoughts from people.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so do we need, that'll be a special meeting, so I need a motion. and
Make a
second.
motion to have a special meeting at 6 o'clock on June 17th.
I'll second
Voice vote,
that.
please.
Mr. Pope?
Yay.
Mr. Shively?
Yay.
Mr. King?
Yay.
With that being said, I'd like to make a motion, we adjourn this evening.
I'll second it.
Voice vote, please.
Mr. Pope?
Yay.
Mr. Shively?
Yay.
Mr. King?
Yay.